I'm not interested in a government position. And I'll tell you the reasons why I'm not interested in a government position. I've had many people who have approached me and spoken to me about taking up a position in government or taking up a position in ZANU PF. Very, 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 very influential people close to the president who have come and approached me. For the past year, this story has been spoken about, and I have been very clear that I'm not interested in working for government. I have given my reasons why I'm not interested in working for government. Number one, government of Zimbabwe is under sanctions. It does not have financial resources. Therefore, it cannot pay the kind of money that I would want if I was to leave everything that I do and my business to go and work in government. This I know because I've already been offered a position in 2019 in a very strategic ministry, and I refused because they could not offer me what I wanted then. I believe that nothing has changed from then to now, so I would not take a government position then, and I will not take a government position now. Number two, me and the government of Zimbabwe differ fundamentally on very important and fundamental issues. So if I'm going to be a communicator of government, but I differ with the principle of re-engagement, how am I going to be a communicator in government? It's impossible. I don't believe in re-engagement. And because I don't believe in re-engagement, it would not make sense for me to accept a position in communication when I don't believe in re-engagement, and I'll have to be re-engaging with people that I see as enemies of my country. I believe that the Europeans and some of the people that our government is re-engaging with are people that pose a threat to the government of Zimbabwe, to our future, and so therefore it would be so difficult for me to re-engage them when I feel like they are enemies. So it does not make sense for anybody with a brain to go and take up a position where you're going to be at loggerheads with your principal and a position in which you will not be able to pretend. I'm not a good pretender. Number three, I make a terrible employee. That's why I went into business. I cannot take instructions. I cannot pretend. I cannot hide my dissatisfaction on certain issues when I'm dissatisfied. And working in government means you work with very senior, respectable people. I'll find it very difficult to keep my mouth shut when I'm not happy about certain things. Yet when you're in government and you're serving under presidents, vice presidents, other ministers, you have to know how to constrain yourself. And in our African culture, I would have to be respectful of Wanababa Vatinegeti Navo. I wouldn't be able to do that. So I make a very bad government employee. I make a very bad politician because I'm too honest and too open. And in politics and government, you've got to be diplomatic and can't just speak openly as I do. So I'd be a fool to accept a position in government when I know that I cannot restrain myself and when I know that I am going to speak undiplomatically and openly in ways that could cause a problem when working with very respectable dignitaries like government officials. Number five, I want to make money, and I will never make money in government unless I get into a government position and then I start doing other things other than my job to try and make extra money. I believe it's unethical for you to take a position and then be doing other things to make money in a position where you're supposed to be putting all your might. Number six, Zimbabwe requires intensive communication, branding, and marketing. And that intensive communication, marketing, and branding requires a very good budget. Our government doesn't have a very good budget. I've spoken to people in the position. I think you know that Minister Mchangwa and I speak very well together. And she has been very clear that there is no budget, so they need people with creativity in that ministry to be able to get some of the communication out. You have to find ways to raise the funds to communicate. I could never work under those conditions. I have been doing that in our small little business, marketing small and medium companies. I would not want to leave that to go into a government position only to be constrained of resources to again do low budget marketing in a government that requires very intensive and high expenditure marketing. Number 7, like I said, I want to make money. There's no way I'm going to make money in a government position. I need to grow my marketing consultancy. I cannot leave a Zimbabwean government job to my children. I have seen some government officials or former government officials' children who are destitute right now. And I wouldn't want my children to be destitute because I was serving the government and not making money while others were making money. Number 8, I am not happy with the government of Zimbabwe. I've done a lot of work for the government of Zimbabwe, measurable work that even people who don't like me can tell the work that I have done. They've paid consultants $500,000 and millions in the past, but they have never, ever given any form of gratitude for the work that I have done. I would find it very difficult to work in a government system where the principals are not appreciative of people who can do good work. I've had a lot of my ideas stolen by people in government. I find it very difficult to work alongside some of those people who stole my ideas. We are likely to clash. You understand what I mean? Number 9, right? What else? Yeah. So these are the major reasons why I would find it almost impossible to take a job in the government of Zimbabwe. Remember, when you see people like Mthuli Ncube who take positions in the government of Zimbabwe, they get the option to earn what they want. You understand? Which is what I tried to do when I was being offered that opportunity last time, is that I told them what I wanted. And they thought I was crazy. And they said no. And so I would not want to work in a job where I'm earning peanuts. I've left my job, my business, and I've left my options that I currently have. Oh, yeah. And number 10, look, I'm currently in court against Joe Biden with Simba Chitando. That is huge. We are going against the banks. That has built my profile in a very amazing manner. And I'm unlikely to do that by going to work in the government of Zimbabwe, particularly if we are unable to redeem its image and if we are unable to